Okay. Hi, Kate.
Hey, Erika.
Happy early Mother's Day.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to introduce your friend?
Yes, this little guy you might hear in the background is Cassius James Cassidy, a.k.a. Cash Money.
CJC.
Yes, CJC.
That's a good monogram. Have you monogrammed the shit out of everything?
Well, you were the first person to send a blanket with his name on it. So we have the Cash blanket on the side of his crib there. We have a couple onesies with the CJC, but not too much, not yet. So.
All right. So how is it?
Oh, God. I had never really been around babies before. I come from a huge family, but down the shore and stuff, when they're all there, it's like you pop in, you say, oh, how cute, you hold it for a second, you're gone. I had never held a baby as young as this one, but I'd never been around an infant before. Nobody told me how hard it is after you give birth.
Yeah.
And
on your body?
On your body.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought breastfeeding was going to be this magical thing. Nope. It has been really
it's
something.
Very physically demanding isn't the right word. It's excruciating.
Nobody tells you that. Can I just say,
let's go.
He tore me up from the floor up.
Yeah,
Erika.
100%. Yeah.
I had the epidural. I was like, I'm going to go drug free. I'm just going to have this As soon as I started having contractions, I was like, give me the drugs, please.
The drugs.
So I didn't feel when I was pushing or anything. So I was like, oh, everything's fine. That giving birth is not that hard. It was fine. And then the next day I was like, oh my God, it was
carnage.
For 2 weeks, poor Pat, every time I've started to breath, I'm like, just grab my knee and hold on and help me. But I did not know.
Yeah, you're bringing it all back.
Yeah.
The sutures and then the salines. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of stuff. People don't realize how truly hard you birth an animal.
Yeah, you really do. But also no one prepared me for I knew I was going to love him. But oh my gosh, it's something else. Yep. I sound like such a dork and it's so cliche, I guess, but I was not prepared for how much I was gonna fall in love with this little dude. It's hard to be mad.
And are you getting any sleep? Yeah, no, you can't be mad at him.
You really can't.
There's time for that later.
Yeah, I'll wait till your teen years. We're not getting any sleep because again, I'm trying to breastfeed. Yep. And so I'm just on demand every 2 hours or whenever he wants. And that's 24 hours a day. And you're just oh my God. So yeah, we're doing good though, all things considered. It's been pretty cool.
What are your biggest observations? What are the things that you wish people told you that they didn't?
Oh, definitely. Because one of Pat's co-hosts, they had a baby and she sent me this care package for afterwards with these, you snap them, they're like ice pads and the diapers and all this stuff. Because I was prepared for none of it. I had no idea. So just to prepare for afterwards, the little
for
handheld
you or
bidets.
for the for the baby.
For me.
For you.
Forget.
Yeah.
You think it's all about you, baby? No, it's all about me.
Yep.
I did not know the poop and pee. I was just so completely unprepared for all of it because again, I'd never really been around babies, but also that you can be a complete idiot and we're still making it work. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what are your hopes? How do you feel about being a mom?
I had hit this point in my 30s where I was I guess it's maybe not in the cards for you, but I just always really, really wanted kids and wanted to be a mom. And then now that it's I just feel, again, it sounds so corny, but I feel this, there's nowhere else, everything in my life. I'm so glad it all happened because I have him now. This is the best thing, quite honestly, that has ever happened to us, I'd say, to Pat too. But
Pat's slowly being inched out to the door.
Pat is on his way out.
We do need to get Pat. Do we have a mic for Pat? Pat can snuggle up in the middle.
I asked Pat described my vagina during childbirth as an angry anthill. So I shouldn't have asked you what it looked like. But anyway, yeah, being a mom's great.
Okay,
Erika.
and do you feel sentimental? Are you more emotional than you were?
I mean, I was always an emotional lady anyway, but the smallest things. I remember the first night in the hospital after he was born and the news was on and there was a sad story and I was just holding him close I'm never going to let anything happen to you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, so definitely. And every little thing, sometimes I just hold him and I'm oh my God, it's just the best thing.
Just delicious.
Yeah.
I think that people don't give advice to new moms about what happens to your body because I literally think you forget about it.
Yeah.
Like you will forget about it. Like I'm forgetting about it until you've just said all this. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. That was terrible.
Well, it's already like I forgot because I had a really rough pregnancy at the end where I had sciatica super bad. So I was taking crutches to work. Like I like couldn't walk. I was really struggling. I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't breathe. And now that he's here, I kind of forgot all that. I'm like, let's do it again. Come on.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. So there is this, I think, this thing in your brain that Men in Black erases everything that you went through, so you do it again.
And how do you feel about work? Like, how do you feel about, like, do you feel overwhelmed, or do you feel like do you care anymore? Like, one thing that happened to me is I feel like when I had babies that I was like, everything you thought you prioritized, you changed.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was surprised to find like I don't have FOMO for like, because I loved going out with everybody at work, like especially like for the rough and rowdies and all that stuff. And I don't have any FOMO for like going to the bars or anything like that. But I have to say, I can't wait to get back in the swing of like creating and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because even on the way to the hospital, Pat and I made a video with him, and we did like, we've had a lot of fun just making our own wacky little videos. And
you guys have wacky good content. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
Cash is very lucky.
No.
Oh, buddy.
What do you think about it, sir? Sir.
This kid loves a mic.
Yeah, here comes
Oh.
Pat. But I'm actually pretty excited, and I think one of the great things about this job is so much of it's your own initiative and what you want to do, kind of.
Yeah.
So I feel like as long as I can keep creating, I don't think I have to be at the office. Like, I don't think anybody would care if I was there from like 9 to 5 every day. But I look forward to like popping in every day, seeing everybody, doing some things, and then working from here and like doing a mix of both. And eventually too, one of my favorite things is like traveling and making videos and doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I'm looking
Are you
going to
make him part of your content? What have you guys talked about with that?
I think so. I look at some of the other parents at work. Like I know Big Cat keeps his life very private because he's got like 2-point-something million followers on. I'm a little different ball of wax, so I don't think it's that big a deal if nobody's going to be like seeking out my baby or anything.
You never know. I was downstairs, literally. There was a stoolie running outside and was like, Erika, and I was like, oh god. And then I'm like, hey, how are you? And he was like, one bite. Everybody knows the rules. You here to see Kate? And I was like, yep.
And so you post one thing in the town and everyone's like, we know where you live now. You know, you get all these DMs like, I live right down the street from you.
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
awesome.
Great. Yep.
But yeah, I think we're going to put him in
comfortable.
Because he's so, I mean, let's be honest. He's a like factory.
Yeah.
You're going to rake in the likes and the views of
You want to get followers? Have a newborn.
He's electric.
Yep.
This boy is electric. So yes,
high
I think
ROI.
we'll definitely.
Cash is already paying out. And how do you feel about your maternity leave? Like I felt maternity leave was very alienating. Do you feel that way or no? Or because you guys are together here, like how do you guys feel about that?
You should ask Pat how he feels about it because he works from home.
How do you feel about it, Pat?
About maternity leave?
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's almost over.
Yeah.
Is it almost over?
Erika, can we have more maternity?
He's working right here all day, and then I'm right behind him with the baby all day. I'm like, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? But I've been taking him for long walks. My parents live like an hour and a half away. They come up once a week. We've had the first person that the baby ever got his hand tangled in their hair was PFT.
Okay.
So that PFT brought us a big thing of enchiladas, and we've had a lot of visitors and
the traditional baby enchilada gift.
Yes. You know what helps out a new mom more than a giant tray of enchiladas.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's been pretty good, and I don't know what I do all day, but I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's midnight and I'm like, what? I feel
Where
like I
did today
accomplished
go?
nothing, but I've definitely been doing something. But yeah, so it's flown by.
And are you anal or not anal? Like what kind of mom are you?
Again, Pat would answer that, but I feel like I'm pretty laid back with a lot of things, but I'm very type A with him. Like,
you are.
Poor Pat will be feeding, and I'm like, you got to go up 2 more degrees of an angle to hold his neck. You got to like do this and that. I'm very different parenting styles.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I'm very type A with it and very particular.
You didn't make the girls wash their hands when they came here, though. Girls, I can't believe you guys didn't know that.
Oh, Jordan did. Yeah.
That is A1A rule of new baby. Yeah, now they're all like paranoid.
Jordan sneezed on the baby and then kissed his face. It was horrible. No, but it's been pretty good. I haven't felt what for you. Were you just so hitting the ground running with work that it was like?
No, it's the same. I
Yeah.
think it's like dreamy. It's a dreamy time. Your world becomes really, really small, I think. And
There's no night and day anymore.
yeah, it's
It
just
all is a
blurs.
blur.
Yeah, it just blurs.
It's a giant blur. And if I watch one more episode of like Beachfront Bargain Hunt or like I just put on these dumb shows in the background all day long, and all of a sudden I'm like, we're on episode 382 of like whatever. So a lot of
I
Real
felt like my
Housewives.
brain turned to mush. I felt like my
Yeah.
whole body was mushy. And that was hard for me to get back. But also, you're just so focused on that little peanut that
Yeah.
nothing else matters, which is a kind of a nice way to feel.
It's really, I said the same thing about people like, oh, boot camp must be so hard. But really, you have this exact set of things you do every day, and you sleep when you do sleep,
Yeah.
it's like a baby because you have no other worries. You're not worried about anything else. I'm not really leaving the apartment. I'm not like doing any work stuff right now. And so it's kind of, in certain ways, it's kind of simpler.
Yeah. Do
But-
you think your military background is helpful, not helpful, or irrelevant?
That you can sleep anywhere, anytime is helpful because I can have him and be in the weirdest angle and just kind of pass out for a little bit as long as he's watching over me. But no, I don't think it. No, I thought maybe it would help in some ways. Nothing really
I think
prepares
it's the
you.
opposite of boot camp, though, because boot camp is so regimented and
Yeah.
controlled, and this is like
Well, that's
you're under
another-
new management.
That's another thing I learned at first. We were like, every 3 hours we'll feed him exactly, like 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And it was so stressful trying to have like a regiment and a schedule and have him on
Yeah.
a certain. I've learned you've got to just like go with the flow.
Did
and
you
let it
order
go.
all the books, like the 12-hour sleeping secret, blah, blah, blah?
His sister brought a book that was like, that breaks everything down and blah, blah, blah. And for like a week we tried and we were like, no, we're just
Yeah.
going to roll with
We're-
whatever.
yeah.
And like we were keeping track of like exactly how much he ate and when and blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, if you want some boob.
Yeah, who fed
Toss
him
'em on it.
last? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
It's been good.
Pat, what do you think?
Just in general, what do I think?
Yeah,
I think I love this little dude.
that's great.
Yeah, everything's good.
You're going to keep him.
I think so.
Yeah.
What's the warranty on him? Yeah, we're within the window. We're gonna keep him. Yeah, he's
Yeah?
awesome. Yeah, it's great. We
Is
do-
it stressful? Do you guys think it's stressful?
It's absolutely stressful. It's terribly stressful. Especially like, you just get used to your day, like what you do during your day. And then this guy just interrupts it. And then he's like, you don't want to break him. You want to make sure that like, my big thing is like, I don't want to like impart any like insecurity or anger or like whatever like deep seated stuff comes from like being held wrong as an infant. Like those are the
You're like, I'm trying not
anxieties
to
that I
fuck him
have.
up.
Like, yeah, how do I not like make like an angry, mean, how do I make a good person?
Yep.
Yeah. And there's no, manual. So
And how do you guys split the chores? Or is it like, how do you
we
how
have
do
a
you
Roomba.
balance? Oh, you have a Roomba? Okay.
Um,
that takes care of most of it.
Like, how do you say we split the chores?
At first, I say this with love. At first, it was a lot of, for the love of God, please clean more. But I would say, especially because I've had stoolies reaching out, like guys reaching out, well, we're having a baby in a couple of weeks. What advice do you have? And I'm like, for you, the guy, any and every chore, any piece of dirt
Do
you see on the
chores.
ground, any dish you see, like just help her with that shit and she'll do a lot of the baby stuff, but you just get good at that. But like, no.
You'll get your rebuttal.
But like, yes, you get your rebuttal. But it's like been so amazing. Like I can't imagine him not being like it's been super incredibly helpful. And two, he's the one who has like, it's so frustrating. The baby will be crying in my arms all day, and I'm like, I don't get it. And as soon as he's in Pat's arms, like,
Pat's got the magic touch.
yeah,
You do have
so,
the magic
like,
touch. I
He
can
really
tell.
does. Yeah, your rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm like a baby whisperer. I clean all the time.
Okay.
We have different standards. This is the thing. Is,
Okay.
like, I walk in a room and the room is fine. You walk in a room and you notice everything that's wrong with that room. So like my problem is you don't point it out to me. You're like, why isn't this clean? I'm like, it is clean. And you're like, no, look. And I'm like, okay, if you just tell me, I'm happy to take care of it. Okay. I'm a very supportive partner.
White glove
Wait, how
inspection.
long did you guys live together before you had the baby?
Never.
Okay, so this is new.
He was living in Austin, Texas, and I was like, ring, ring. Hey, I got something to tell you. I'm pregnant. And surprise. So he came up here with like probably 2 months to go before we had the baby. And this is the first time too I've lived with a boyfriend in like
So you guys
6
just have
years.
a whole new world.
Yeah, I'm used to living. We both are used to like being on our own and being super independent and having our own space and our own style. And now
How's that going for you?
all of a sudden we're together with the baby.
All 24/7.
Yeah, in Austin, I had a bench press and a yard and a dog, and here we are in, some town in New Jersey, which is it's my birthplace. But I tried desperately to get away from
Nope.
this state.
Just
and
coming. Kate's reeling you right
I'm
back
right
into
back.
the dirty jers.
You trapped me,
Yeah,
but I'm so happy.
I know. Yeah.
Are you both so happy?
Yeah,
Like exhaustedly, bewilderingly happy.
Yes, I have to say, I've never. I sound so dorky saying it, but I've never been happier in my life. I feel like everything. I feel really lucky. Like not brown nosing, but I love my job. I love my boyfriend. I have a baby and not to mention the cat.
I mean, the
It's a
cat
delight.
is amazing.
He's a delight. But I don't know. I feel like I've had a lot of ups and downs and like a really wacky path, and I'm so glad that this is where I'm at right now. It just feels right. I don't know. So I'm really happy.
Can I point out where you're at right now? Just so you know. So we've been like slowly upgrading Kate's glasses. This is like, so she's going full mom mode. So these are some of the upgrades I've made in the last couple
What
weeks.
is this plastic situation?
So I got her these are silicone hooks that go on around her ears. Then I also
so they don't fall down?
there's aftermarket rubber that I put on the nose as well.
Really?
Yeah, there's 3 Amazon orders, separate
Let's
ones
see,
that went into
Kate.
these
Look at me.
glasses.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, so she's really embracing her mom role, I think.
I also think the cat eye is kind of fabulous.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the other thing too. Like I haven't worn jeans since I had the baby, and he's going to be 7 weeks on Friday. I haven't worn
You don't feel any pressure on that.
I feel nothing, and I walk around with my top out. I think all of this town in Jersey has seen my
Seen
tits.
your racks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
has seen my rack and but like I just walk around, windows open, top off,
Yeah, like,
whatever.
let's go.
And I don't care. Like
You can't care because it's so painful and it's so much.
yeah, and extra I'm not worried about my weight or anything. I'm just eating what I want, so I can So
I
not
remember
worried
my
about it.
mother had told me that she left the hospital after she had a baby in her regular jeans.
How?
No idea. So when I left the hospital, I just brought my regular jeans because I was
Oh my
like,
God.
My mother said she left the hospital in her regular jeans, and I remember just crying because it's not like they didn't button, they didn't
Right.
go on.
Right.
Period. And so I think that's a good thing. It's going to take you years to get your body to a new place, and that's not the priority. It doesn't matter.
If I was you, I would have left the hospital with just my underwear and a shirt. I would not have
Very much
even.
did.
I would have been beside myself. That would have been. I do think about like the looking at pictures of my grandpa and like leaving the hospital with like heels on and a nice dress.
they were
and you're
dressed
like,
up. Yep.
No, not for me. I'm glad
You're
the
like,
times
I've
have
been in
changed.
athleisure. You're like a millennial.
Yeah,
You've been in
absolutely.
athleisure for 7 weeks.
Nothing but Barstool shirts, and
I
that's
love
about
that.
it.
You're the tit shirt. I was accused of being a misogynist for having that shirt, just so you know.
Well,
Can't think of a better pair of boobs to have that on than like a oh Jesus, Danielle
there
is
you
holding
go.
the baby.
Danielle is holding the
Okay.
baby.
Kate, advice to moms and stooly dads about to have a baby.
Just go with the flow. As long as you love them and are trying your best, that's really all you can do. Don't try and worry about not till way later down the line, like schedule and regiment, and don't be too hard on yourself. In the beginning, like I wasn't making as much milk as I wanted to, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm so mad at myself. Blah, blah. You just have to go with the flow. A fed baby's a happy baby. There's really no wrong way to do it. And yeah, that there's no wrong way to do it as long as you're trying your best and you're just giving them all the love you can. You'll definitely screw up. And we've pretty much learned everything because, again, neither of us are familiar with babies at all.
Learned everything?
Through what works and what
Trial and
doesn't.
error.
Terrible evening after you said that.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. Go with the flow and don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah.
That's great advice. Thanks, Kate.
Yeah. Thanks,
Happy
Erika.
Mother's Day.
Thank you. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see what Pat got me. I'm really excited. We'll see. Yeah.
All right, you guys, that was good.
Yeah. Thank you.